I'm very, very honored tonight to have with us Mayor Connie Boyer.
It's my pleasure to introduce you to my youngest granddaughter out of 5, and I call her the boss of the family because she can get the whole family to do pretty much anything, right? Yep. Yep. So anyway, Bob asked me to kind of just share what's happening from the city level and a part of what I see and hope that transpires over the next many years for Fairfield. But let me tell you a few things that are in the works right now. And some things that have been happening over summer. Of course, everyone knows the Fairfield Garden Initiative has been amazing. Thank you, Faith, and all the people who have been involved in that, and Bob. It's just been a great success. Right now, we just appointed a housing task force. Starting in October, we're going to be doing a little study on housing. I'm really excited about what that's going to bring, and it's going to be an interactive situation with that housing task force. It's going to be done a little different than normal, so that's going to be exciting. We're also doing a hotel study. As you know, we're down to 2 hotels instead of 3, and so hopefully that will bring fruition. Over the last year, you know, we've had some challenges as a community, and community members have gotten together, and this is just kind of an organic thing that happened of community members who raised their hand and said, what can we do to help fill in gaps for our community, particularly for our students, and also adults that need more support in the mental health area. So there's been about anywhere from a dozen to maybe 20 people working on this since last November. We are now calling ourselves Jefferson County Mental Health and Wellness Alliance. So you'll hear more about that. We did a little strategic plan and trying to determine where our holes are and where we can help the community. So that will be coming out soon. We've been working on a Great Places grant. There were some grants that came out that we really looked at and decided we weren't in the position to do those grants through the state. One of them turned out to be, you know, you need to be a $5 million project, and we didn't have any $5 million projects right now, so we decided to turn to our Great Places grant, and we'll be talking a little bit about it Monday night at City Hall. Hopefully get the support of the council, and there's some really exciting things I think coming out with that if we can get that grant. The Fairfield Volunteer Center, you know, they've been quietly working, but it's interesting. We had, I don't know if you all know Chad Starling, who's an amazing artist. He went to the Volunteer Center after the Volunteer Center and the Cultural Alliance got together and did these signs for the parks to keep trash in the garbage bins. And he went to the Volunteer Center and he says, I got this project. I've been thinking about it for a long time. He did some renderings, and hopefully that's going to take off. And it basically is, you know, if you know his artwork, he wants to do the big pillars down 2nd Street of the overpass. And it's going to be really cool if we can get that done. You may have heard of Fairfield Cares, Jennifer Hamilton. She's got a whole group of volunteers trying to help people in their older years with things that they need. That's so exciting to watch that happen. We have a new city code enforcement officer at the city level, and please treat him as your friend, because we really, as a community, want to upgrade and uplift our community, and he's helping us do that by being more proactive and educating people on what the codes are, and trying to be supportive to help get some of those things done that are lacking. Fire station, those bids should come out this fall, and then hopefully start next year. Highway 1 South will have a new path, a new highway, and also it's 8 or 10 feet wide, part of the trail system to get out on the trail system, and so you don't have to be along that shoulder or walk on the highway where it's a little dangerous. So there'll be a safe walking path on the south side out to the trail. Yes, yep, out towards the community health center, yep. This last year, we did a a maintenance plan for Lamson Woods, which was really cool. And also this summer, we're doing a side rock review. But quickly, as far as vision for Fairfield, I just want to touch on a few things. And I really hope that through this Great Places grant and some of the other things that are actually being done privately, and through some other things that, we'll really have a revitalization of our downtown. COVID's been hard on a lot of communities, and it's been hard for us too. So let's really put our attention on that, and hopefully that will start to look a lot better over the next couple years. I'm hoping that at some point here at the city level we have some hybrid vehicles. There seems to me no reason why we shouldn't have at least one or two in our fleet. I have found out that as far as a police car that's hybrid or electric, it's a little more challenging because of the way they equip the cars. And of course, Tesla is one of the cars that we think of as far as hybrid or electric, and apparently they don't do what some of the other engine cars do to give some brakes and get those cars equipped. So, but hopefully that will get easier over time. I'm hoping that at some point we have a section of town, little community of small homes. I've got a couple places in mind that I'm not going to share, but because I think there are people that that don't want a conventional house. 300-400 square feet is good enough, and that's fine. So I'm hoping that can take place. I already mentioned kind of cleaning up and tidying up our town, helping our neighborhoods, and having more neighborly neighbors, if you will, where people find out, where your neighbors' challenges are, so that you can help them when they need help. I'd like to see everybody plant 1 tree per year, every household. So, and if you can plant 3 or 4, go for it. But if we did that over the next 10 years, we would roll back like 10 years worth of greenhouse gas emissions or something like that. I can't remember if that's exactly the right statistic, but make them nut trees, all right. Okay, that's from Faith. Make them nut trees so we can feed everybody and the squirrels. That's what they do in my yard. Diverse bicycle recreation. There's a grant that just went in to do mountain biking out at Woodham Woods. I was just up in Minnesota, and this little town that we stayed in, which was near Brainerd, it's about 14 miles from Brainerd. Brainerd has all this activity because it's a bigger town, but we were in this little town because I found it on Airbnb, and they are bicycle heaven up there because of all the lakes and all the different places. So it was really cool. I'd like to see a bank loan program, so I'm going to have to ask the banks to get together and provide, I'm hoping they'll provide a little bit lower interest rates for if you want to put solar on your house. I'd like to see them do that, make it a little bit easier, and help us educate our community on how they can do that. A good grant writing team. So if you want to be involved in grant writing, let me know. And the last thing I'm going to mention is endowing our foundations through education and estate planning. So let me just give a good example, and that is the Fairfield Public Library has an endowment. And I don't know really what the value is right now, but the last I knew it was around $2 million. And I would say 20 years ago, when budgets were really tight at the city level, we were not able to give them as much money for supplies. And that steadily has gone down because budgets at the city level have been tighter. Meanwhile, that foundation, through the good works of our community who have given more and more money, they've done a lot of projects through that foundation, and it's made a huge impact for our community in supplies, programming, equipment at the library. If they did not have that foundation, the library would be a much different place. And so it's important, in my view, to say, listen, we need to fully endow our civic center, our museum, our education foundation to help our teachers. That museum is a wealth of information there. Sorry, Bob, I know I'm taking more than 5 minutes. And our Civic Center, because the Civic Center, Fairfield Arts and Convention Center, and particularly the museum, those are two city-connected, facilities. We own those buildings, and that just takes, if those are fully endowed, it takes more pressure off city. Okay? So I always say, as you estate plan, a lot of families want to give what I have left to their children or their grandchildren. Great, fine, but they're probably not going to miss 1 or 2% of your estate or whatever amount you want to give. So you're not getting it all, Corinne, sorry. So as you're planning your wills, your estates, if you can just tweak out a little bit for a foundation that you love. I've only mentioned a few. I forgot Greater Jefferson County Foundation, which is our big foundation overall. And that's been growing for 50 years. It's had such an impact for our students, scholarships. Anyway, so I'm just encouraging to build those and over time, and let your friends and neighbors know that how impactful that can be over time. So thanks, Bob. Happy birthday. Wish you many blessings. And thank you so much for the rain.